Welcome to the In-Game Boss Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Evans, a.k.a. your In-Game Boss, a.k.a. your retro activist, and my second chair, Jaron Williams.
Yep, Evil of Aku in the house.
And our seasonal guest, third chair, Curtis Scism the third.
How are y'all doing?
Good, good. So for the people that are the first-time listeners or always coming back to be great listeners, thank you so much. We are a video game podcast where our goal is not only to challenge ourselves, but also challenge you when you listen to the show. Now, one thing that makes it stand out is we are part of a network called the In-Game Boss Program, network of gaming and other variety shows. And I want to say, I think so far, out of all the podcasts, I think I got the most shows that I can provide when you subscribe to the program. I mean, you're getting like 4 or 5 shows out of it. You got a video show called The Cabinet Sessions. They're on YouTube. You know, we got some great content on here. And we got a special guest podcast, you know, Sunday Anime Chat, that is also part of that too. So you're getting great content. So we'd be very happy if you subscribe either on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Castbox, Podcast Republic, all those sites. There's many more, but subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, tell we're doing a good job, tell us a bad job, leave questions. We have not had a question yet. I would love to have some awesome questions to come hit us up.
A lot of wallflowers out there.
I know, right?
We would love comments.
Yeah,
comments
give us
great.
comments, man.
Yeah,
we're on YouTube. Leave a comment. Come to our page on Facebook and Twitter and leave comments there. Let us know. I know some people have been doing a good job, so let us know. And also, too, if you want to personally, get to know us, as us personal, if you don't want no one else to know, you can always email us at the ingameoffice@gmail.com. And so, fellas, now, to them, nothing's different. But for us, it's been about a couple of weeks. We haven't seen. Well, Curtis has been a couple of weeks. It's been about a week because we recorded with Game Addicts on our last episode. Shout out to them.
That was a blast. That was a blast.
And so, Curtis, just for you, man, did you have a game in your mind when you listened to the show that you think changed the game from our last episode? For people that don't know, the last episode we talked about games that changed the gaming industry. People either put it in their games, or they actually try to copy those games too and put it in their stuff. So, Curtis, anything that comes to mind?
Street Fighter stuck out to me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It was kind of genre defining.
I mean, we're up to Street
And
Fighter
I'm talking
V.
about Street Fighter 2.
The Street Fighter 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
not Fighting Street.
Not fighting.
No.
Fighting Street.
Yeah, and we posted up. I think you posted up in the Retro Game Society that same question, and so you got some.
Yeah.
We got some similar ones. Like someone said Metal Gear. Just like Brendan said.
Yeah, there's
So-
a lot of feedback. People threw a lot of feedback, and I liked it. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that after this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't forget, they're a great show. They're fun. They were great to talk to. We're hopefully doing a future project with them soon, and definitely hit them up. They're on Podbean. I believe they're on. The thing about Podbean is if you decide to make a podcast on Podbean, that is your source, but then it shoots out. So they're going to be on probably the same areas that we're on. Apple Podcasts and YouTube,
Spreaker as well.
Spreaker, yeah.
Which
also Curtis's show is also on there too.
Mm-hmm.
And so give them a like, follow them, subscribe, tell them they're doing a great job, because they also Twitch. Now I'm not gonna lie, I think they said Wednesdays, but if you go listen to the last episode, they will tell you exactly what day they do it, and they're a weekly podcast. And so, but actually, when I got home from work, I actually sat and watched the Rocco's Modern Life special that was on Netflix, because I'm a Rocco's Modern Life fan.
That's out already?
Yeah, it came out.
Ooh.
Yeah, so for listeners, it's a week. It's been a week now since it's been out.
Okay.
And so I got home. I got some Wendy's. I like Wendy's. I got a junior bacon cheeseburger with a couple of fries. I was hungry. I was hungry as hell. And I was trying to figure out what show I was going to watch. And I was going to watch a show that was a movie we're doing in the future on our recording with when Jeremy met Nam and do a movie podcast. Shout out to Nam Tran. But apparently I can't find my copy of the movie that I picked. So I was like, all right, so what am I going to watch? So I went on Netflix. I'm like, oh yeah, Rocco. And I actually, kudos for them for getting everybody to come back and do the original voices.
Wow.
That was pretty crazy.
It's impressive, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And I guess my brain went dumb because I didn't know the same creator that Rocco's Modern Life did SpongeBob SquarePants, which it makes so much sense because some of the voices are very similar. And then also did Camp Laszlo, if you remember that
Yes.
show on
Yeah.
Cartoon Network.
In fact, fun bit of trivia at the very end of Camp Laszlo. Sorry for people who haven't seen it yet, but I'm spoiling it. It turns out their actual camp counselor was supposed to be Heifer from Rocko's Modern Life.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's the same voice actor.
Yeah.
And same, almost identical model, except aged. So,
That makes a lot of sense. But for people, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it basically starts out with them in space, and they've been in space for 20 years.
of course they are.
And so and as they make it back down, the world has changed, and they're trying to figure out and try to adapt to that
Okay.
new world. And so you get to find out what the big heads, the neighbors next door, have been doing. You get the Filbert, he was the turtle. You find out about what his wife has been kind of doing. It's really quick. You get all the characters come back, and even though they don't get too much of a shine, it was enough to get by.
Yeah.
And so I highly enjoy it. The animation looks really good. They didn't go too far with any I don't know if they use computer graphics on this, but I didn't really make a huge difference. He doesn't look like the Rocco I know kind of feel. It was I highly enjoy it. But I love the fact that I need to rewatch the original show, because when I was watching it, I was trying really hard to remember everything they did, and it started clicking slowly. There was a part I remember that, and I remember this, I remember that, but I totally don't remember how that episode went out in my head of where that was referenced from.
Yeah.
And so, because one of the parts I remember was there was one episode where some random moment happens, and then all these little flies come into the screen, and they're all tied up, and they say a line and they disappear. I don't know why. They just do that whole thing. It's weird. I think it was a Halloween special or something like that, or something extreme happens, and they come in and they just say a pun, and then they disappear. Kind of like Freakazoid kind of does their thing.
Okay.
Have you seen that?
cutaway gag?
Yeah, it's like a cutaway gag, but they only come in when something extreme happens.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be funny. If people know Freakazoid, they kind of you remember that episode Relaxovision? When a violence supposed to happen, they go right to Relaxovision, where it's all nice and pleasant. You never see the violence. It's kind of like that. But my favorite part of that was at the end, they did it one more time, and the flies were done with their roles. So they get out of their webs, and they're about to walk off, and they're talking to the director, are we good? Are we good? Yeah, we don't need you. So are you sure? And director's get out of here. So I would love to rewatch that show, because I forget how much it brought back memories. And I think that shows that I watched that show too many times to know that even over 20 years that I still remember the hints. I remember that it was from that episode, but I don't remember how that whole episode went out.
I would be surprised if it wasn't if Rocco or Freakazoid weren't on Amazon Prime Video.
I think Netflix is just trying to snatch these nostalgias from everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
They didn't get Hey Arnold, but
you got Disney Plus and other stuff on the rise, which that's a whole nother thing. Their package deal.
But do you
Hulu
think? Do you think it's smart if Netflix tries to grab some of these Nickelodeon classics? I know they're never going to get Rugrats. Rugrats is they're already set and done.
They're making a huge grab at anime.
They are
recently with Evangelion.
Yeah.
That kind of was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
minus the intro.
Yeah, but I
or the
guess I'm
exit.
The exit.
I guess I'm thinking more of grabbing it but doing something new with it. I don't think Neon Genesis is going to get a new series by Netflix.
God, I hope
No.
not.
Well, there's nothing unless you reboot it and just do something totally different with new characters. But that's beside the point.
Evangelion Kai.
But if they, say they get Doug and they decide to do a Doug special out of it, or
I mean,
no
they
Ren and Stimpy. I love Ren and Stimpy, but the world's done with Ren and Stimpy
No,
now.
they tried to bring Ren and Stimpy back
It was
about
on
10 or so years ago on TNN or Spike, and it was just
Yeah, it's Spiker FX.
It was so unfortunate. I was like, no, this is not how you do it. I had to go watch an old episode just to cleanse, just to mind bleach. But,
Yeah.
but they could do some of the first and second gen Nicktoons. Real Monsters.
Ramones has not been
Yeah.
touched. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think honestly, if they were smart, they would try and work out something with Time Warner or whatever, and get Cartoon Network stuff on there. But I think they have their own streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, especially I think now.
Oh, the first gen Cartoon Network stuff.
Isn't-
cartoons? Yes.
Dexter.
Well, now with HBO Max doing their own thing, man, they're getting that DC kind of special channel. All the DCs are coming over there.
Really?
All the animation shows and everything like that.
Huh.
Really? So what? in addition to DC Universe, or
Yeah, like check
Okay.
it out. Like basically all the movies that you probably seen coming on DVD, they're gonna come to that.
okay,
Like
All right.
the Turtles and Batman one, I want to
Yeah,
watch.
I want to see. I want to read that comic book as well. But yeah,
But that means like, what is the fate of Young Justice? Is that going to be moved over there now? Because one of the biggest thing about HBO Max, they're taking Friends now. Friends is going over there now,
they have the money to do it.
right? And so I don't know, man. It's the streaming is going crazy. I can't wait till we do an episode about like how the gaming streaming industry is going to work.
Oh,
you know,
man.
in the future.
One day.
Yeah,
Insert flashback.
yeah. So you came up with a top. Well, actually, it's funny. You were talking about something, and I was discussing it should be a topic, and then Curtis add on to yes, we should do that. Good. And so, Jaron, why don't you lead this one for us? What is this topic that
it
you?
was your Facebook post.
Yeah, it's your post. I'm gonna lead this topic to you. So, like, what was the first of all? What was the tweet?
Oh man, I read a tweet. I can't do it verbatim. I read a tweet. Someone was talking about their video game crush, and they were talking about, oh yeah, this person, this is who I found. When I found out, oh, I like girls, or oh, I like guys. This is my first video game crush. I love playing this character and interacting with this character. I was like, that's actually a good idea. Let me float it by. Let me float it by you guys. And I mean, it's not just for the thirsty boys out there. There are lots of the thirsty girls out there too.
I think all gamers growing up around our generation were secretly had crushes, but we never really reveal. Because at the time, it kind of maybe to me when I was young, I felt it's kind of awkward to tell somebody, "Hey, you're cute, but Samus is cuter." Kind of,
I had a hard time revealing my crushes to anybody in high school. In fact, I didn't. So yeah, there's that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, video game crushes. Who was your first or second, third, whatever video game crush? That who he or she was, why, what they, what
stood
drew
out.
you in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was your to quote Hotel Transylvania, your zing?
Yeah.
So
I like your elevator pitch right there.
Yeah. What was a zing?
Zing is such a great word to me. Like, I don't know why I do zing when I accomplish something. Like if I get a headshot on somebody in a game, like zing,
I mean, it's better than bazinga.
Oh gosh, right? That's too many. That's too much. That's too many syllables. I don't have time for that.
Yeah. No, you get shot celebrating too long on that one.
So who's your first? Who else? Sorry, I don't want to say your main crush. What's your first crush you got there?
The first one, I got a list of 3, but the first on that one would be Blaze Fielding from Streets of Rage.
Okay.
She's been in every single one. She's going to be in part 4 whenever that comes out.
She's been working out over those years.
I guess everybody's been looking at Chun-Li's thighs and was like, I could do that.
Chun-Li got a fitness somewhere. She ain't telling nobody.
Yeah, I think it's some of those illegal injections right there in the thighs, like. Psh.
Now that I think about it, she would actually be a good entry in the Street Fighter series. Just like a fun bonus character.
Ooh.
Kind of like Geese to Tekken.
Even better, Blaze to Tekken.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I just think.
Dear Sega, do better.
Yeah.
Because why?
Throwing it out there.
Well, I'm saying, like, why isn't the guy from Yakuza not in Tekken yet? Like, he fights like a Tekken guy.
Yeah.
He should be in it.
Depending on his fighting style, it may already be covered. Like Paul Phoenix may already cover that fighting style.
Well, if you ever play the first one, he switches between 4 different styles, so they can balance that out. Like, maybe like he can choose a style he wants to go before going into a fight, or maybe switch on the fly. I don't know. I don't know. You'll have to look at it and tell me what you think.
Yeah. No, but I got drawn in by Blaze Fielding. It's like, all right, cool. I played a lot of times as Adam, but when I wasn't playing as Adam or someone else chose Adam, I would play Blaze. The likes was the Lambada, which I didn't even know what dance that was back in the day. It was like 1991. I was like, I don't know what Lambada is, but it sounds exotic. In hindsight, I felt that she was one of the few that was sexy without being sexualized.
Right.
She had her little hair tosses, her idle animation. You know, I think that was in Streets of Rage 1 and 2.
She was cute, but she kept it real, kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I don't know how practical, considering one or more of the games she had a mini skirt on. She was flipping around and whooping ass, but so I can't say she kept it practical. But
it's kind of like they caught her on a day that she didn't want to be seen wearing a dress, and like,
it's
crap.
Like, it's like Jill Valentine in Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go clubbing. Oh, never mind.
Oh, zombies! All right, give me
I
this
can't
beret.
have a normal day.
Yeah. Give me this beret. I got my tube down. Let's do this.
But I remember her. What made her really appealing to me was she just had such a freaking high kick.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yes.
it's insane. Like, almost like she can kick herself in the face high kick.
Is that Lombardo lesson?
Yeah, I know, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and the fact that they cloned like some of the bosses in Streets of Rage 1 were basically just Blaze fielding clones that would flip and jump and kick, and they were the hardest bosses to beat in the game. So, and I was like, I made a point to beat them with Blaze. It's like, no, you can't outblaze Blaze. No. And the fact that her name sounds like, or I think it was the name for an American Gladiator. So
Yes.
So there you go. I mean, so yeah, she was just straight badass.
Bayonetta, man. I have a crush on Bayonetta. Yeah. When I first played her game, she was. No, you're talking about like sexualized. Like she took it to the top, and she was not gonna leave it alone. She knew what she was doing, and she just kept it going.
She relished in it. And
Yeah.
it was so memorable.
Yeah, and I think it's because like her walk is the part that's really attractive. Like imagine kicking ass, and then you're just back to like a stylish walk. Like, holy shit.
Oh, and being British.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was doing it all in heels.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
And from what I've seen, those are you have to be an expert to even run in those things.
Right, and I think it's also a dangerous thing because you forget that her skin or her costume is a monster.
Yeah.
So it's like it's one of those like, I want to be near you, but I know I can't touch you because I know this is not going to end well for me.
Yeah, it's almost like Kill La Kill. Her uniform was like sentient.
But I think it's mainly because she's just all style. Like everything she does is a pose.
Like,
She does everything is a pose. Everything is a walk off.
Yeah.
You know?
That whole cool guys don't look at explosions. Yeah, she leans
And she's
into that.
always like, it's very rare she's panicking unless like if someone else is on the line. But like her, she got the biggest, toughest monster in front of her, and be like Dante, like, this is gonna be fun.
Oh, please, darling. Like
Yeah.
She was snarky too.
Yeah,
She was like Mary Poppins if Mary Poppins decided, she was going to be Miss Hot Stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then at the same time, like when they decided to change it up to her having short hair, even though she can still grow long hair, was a very interesting idea too.
Yeah.
And so
I'm still working my way through Bayonetta 1 on the Wii U. I haven't started
1 is
2
tough now, but 2 is phenomenal. They fix a lot of stuff.
Okay,
So-
good, because 1 is feeling like a slog.
Yeah, no-
Speaking of Devil May Cry, God. So,
Right.
okay.
My first crush. I'm gonna go in chronological order. So 91, girls still had cooties. Chun-Li did not. Chun-Li did not have cooties.
Okay.
Say what you will about the thighs. She just was so different than a lot of the other fighters. She couldn't
She was the
spam
only
fireballs.
girl.
That too. She couldn't spam fireballs like Ryu or Ken. She was like the first aerial specialist that I remember. It was just so unique.
She did gymnastics at one point. I'm not playing. I think
It was so unique too, because she could, if you corner trap someone right, she can throw down, man.
Yeah.
And that lie about it's not a lie. She is the strongest woman in the world.
And
But-
she's in every Street Fighter game. She's been in every Street Fighter game since part 2.
I always liked her outfit. I thought it was really cute. With the hair things, how it's tied up.
Oh, little buns.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just imagined her like out on a date, like she like okay, time to kick some ass. And she just like rolls it up, puts a chopstick through it. And
I think at one point that she really represented, Japan. When like this, people thought that's what Japan girls are like.
It
Is she
China.
Japanese?
China. She was
China.
China.
Sorry, I forget who's Japanese on there. But either way, like she was representing
That-
what we thought at the time, like portrayed
What you thought
as.
of China?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought Chinese girls were very like uppity because you got to remember. No.
Okay.
The only reason why I say uppity is because Chun-Li, after kicking butt, she goes into a giant uppy happy peace sign.
Yeah.
and she's super serious the whole time. So that's what we like. I portray her like, okay, they're very like uppity people, kind of like that because not everybody's a serious person. So they're happy people, and so.
And
Yeah.
the modern voice for her, you could not have casted anyone better than Laura Bailey for her.
Okay.
I like Laura Bailey
Okay.
as a voice actress. If you're not familiar, she was Lust from Full Metal Alchemist. She was Tia Haribel from Bleach, the Third Espada, and Henrietta from Gunslinger Girl.
Okay. Henrietta. I can place that voice.
Oh, and Kid Trunks. Yeah, she does a mean adolescent voice too.
Right.
They're taking all the adolescent jobs. No. I will say Chun-Li almost made it on my list, but it was for the merits of the Street Fighter animated movie.
Okay.
Which one?
The movie.
Okay.
The movie.
The
one-
R-rated version.
Well, I actually ended up getting the DVD that had the version that was for America that was edited, and then you flip it over and you got the actual all of it.
Oh, okay.
She had one of the coolest fight. Well, it was her only fight scene, but she beat the shit out of Vega.
It was the
It
best
was
fight scene in the
intense.
movie. It was the best fight scene in the movie, and it had one of my favorite song. Actually, that whole soundtrack for Street Fighter the animated movie was killer. Like if you get a chance, Jeremy, the soundtrack if nothing else.
Setting up the scene, she's barely dressed. She just got out of the shower, and Vega ambushes her. She beats his ass barefoot
With a towel on.
With a towel on, in undergarments, hair barely up, and just goes to town on his face.
Yeah. I mean, she takes her licks, like you know.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, that's why I was like, oh, but it's not a video game; it's the movie. But so close.
Yeah, so close.
Video game first.
Yeah. What you got, bud?
Next one, and it's more timely. Edelgard from Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm avoiding any spoilers because there's people still churning through it, but I will tell you this: she is ruthless, but her actions so far have a purpose. And when you get into her backstory of as far as all the crap she's gone through,
What's her name again?
Edelgard, Edelgard, I believe. When you go into what happened to her, like what she's been through, it's you can understand. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I understand why you're doing that. I understand why you're doing that. So she's the imperial princess of one of the three kingdoms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
She looks like a very proper.
oh, but get her into battle with if you focus her on axes and get her into battle, she has a huge axe and she's got the armor on and everything. It's like, oh, she's wrecking shop. It's like you know what? This team's gonna take this. Edelgard, you just take the whole left flank. You got this.
I swear Fire Emblem needs to be a fighting game in the future because there's a lot of unique characters in there.
I mean, as long as they don't go the route of the Final Fantasy, because that just
No,
seems
not
so
3D.
confusing.
I would do 2D.
Okay, so you mean like Arc Systems work?
Yeah, like I think we mentioned it on that episode. Like Arc System crossed maybe Fire Emblem at one point because they had a huge cast of people. But now with the three houses, that's even more on the belt.
That's gonna be hard though. Nintendo's and Nintendo's like, nope, you can't have them because we'll just put Edelgard in Smash Bros. It's DLC. She won't wield a sword. It won't be another sword wielder. It'll be an axe wielder. So, but yeah, Edelgard total. I was like, all right, I can see. Like younger me would be like, oh, she's awesome. So, what about you?
It's weird because there's another girl with hair for some reason by coincidence, but it's Amelia Rage from Guilty Gear.
Okay, I'm not familiar with her personally. I played like all of one Guilty Gear game.
Okay.
So she might not have even been in it.
She has been in since Guilty Gear X. That's the one that was on Dreamcast and PlayStation 2.
Okay.
She has long hair. She fights with her hair. At first, when you first see her, she's more like she has a very 80s kind of feel.
Oh, Material Girl.
Yeah, like 80s. Like she looks like that innocent kind of one, and then you see the hair, and it's like holy crap.
Okay.
And like she does everything with her hair. Like she can slide like down. It's kind of like a Mega Man slide kick, but she does it with her hair. She does a Chun-Li kind of move with her hair, like it's super dashing fast and everything like that. She can pierce somebody with her hair and everything like that. Wow, I like girls that almost kill me. Isn't that funny?
I mean,
but
yeah.
no, right? No, but she was just a girl that I thought really stand out in that game, and she was just really cute because like one of the cutest things she does is when she wins, she'll pull her hair out and like sit on it like a chair, and I thought that was like a really cute thing at the time.
Yeah, it's like see examples like that are why I want to look at Marvel and be like, now why couldn't you pull that off of Medusa in the Inhuman show? It's like you have all these examples, and you still so yeah that looks like that would be fun.
Yeah. And plus, like, Guilty Gear is my favorite fighting series, probably like all time, and I can't wait for the new one because, like, I want to know how she's going to even look in this brand new, like, great animation and everything like that. And so, yeah. And one of the things too I like about it is, kind of like you could say Chun-Li. Like each game, you feel like these characters are growing, so they change. They change the way they look. They get bulkier. Their wardrobe change. All this stuff. So I like how they keep these characters kind of like growing instead of like, here it is, default, that's all you got. So
oh man, so basically not like Ryu and Ken, because they I mean,
well the only difference is you just draw another muscle line somewhere.
The only difference is they've been hitting the HGH. So
yeah.
All right.
Curtis,
Aeris from Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
Staying in chronological order. I'm gonna give an honorable mention to Tifa at the end because I can't talk Aeris without talking Tifa. But
no lie, I picked Tiff over Aeris. Hands down, just throwing that out there.
It was a cross between Tifa and Yuffie.
Okay.
I want to feel like someone can actually hold their own.
That is true.
Don't die on you.
Dirty.
Too
pool.
Soon?
Spoilers.
Too soon? Okay, sorry.
But Aeris was, you gotta respect the white mage of your party. When Cloud goes down, Aeris is still alive. I have a chance. There's a fucking chance I might be able to. Oh great, white mage down. Oh shit, good luck, Barrett.
Right. And Aeris at the time, man, she's probably the most recognizable healer in RPGs. Like, off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you right now who's a great healer. Like Aeris is probably one of those because they really like push a lot of like personality and development with her. Yeah. That you almost forget she is a healer at one point. And then when you play with her, you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah. The only thing that could make it better is when this remake comes out. They have the white mage outfit.
I am so nervous what her gameplay mechanic was because if you play the original 7, she doesn't hit worth crap. You always put her on the back row so she would not take. She's not a brawler. She's not Tifa. This is where Tifa comes in, where it's like, man, Tifa's pretty good too. Like, Tifa will fight your battles. Tifa has one of the longest setup and conclusions to her limit breaks. The further you get in the game, there's 7 wheels that you spin when it's all said and done. For her, like, this really long limit break.
Yeah, the dolphin kick and everything. Like, yeah, final heaven.
But Aeris is the final great gospel. It would heal all.
If you can get it.
If you can get it without her dying before she dies. And you have to get it really early, too.
Disc 1.
But it would heal all your stats, complete cure of all ailments. You were invincible for quite a while, if I remember a few turn cycles. Yeah. But I always liked how Aeris dressed. I liked her ponytail in the back. Just a real demure look to her.
Yeah. The fact she was able to manage all that hair in a battle, too.
What is with these characters with hair?
In Japan, your spirit was associated with hair, which is why you see things like in Grudge, the long hair, black hair covering face.
That makes a lot of sense.
Kami, your spirit.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry about the pronunciation. I refuse to call her Aerith. It's Aeris.
It's like Titus and Titus. I'm not calling him Titus. That's just silly.
It's all good. It's all good.
Tifa looks like an absolute powerhouse in the remake. I cannot wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
She looks just like from the movies.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
unlike some people raging, I don't care that they gave her a realistic
Bust.
breast size. Yeah.
yeah realistic bust. Cause like,
Those are the deep, hardcore, like in the gutter nerds right there. They're
Yeah.
really, really drawing straws here. Like, really,
hey,
really.
you know, I'm
That's gonna
I'm
ruin
not-
your day?
I'm not gonna feign the high horse. It came out 97 when I was 13. It was like, oh wow, that looks different. Even my dad was like, hey, what you got there, son?
My wife,
Right?
My wife chimed in saying, "I don't think you guys realize how much sports brawls carry in. I think," and she says, "I think they're still big." But
she
you
just
just
got a better brawl.
she says, "I don't think guys realize how much the sisters are held in by sports brawls."
I have a few friends who basically they have to tape themselves down, so I can believe it. I can believe it, and it just sounds painful. It sounds painful. Not to mention you get hit in the chest by a claw or something like that. It's like that's instant limit.
So
break.
is Tiva your other crush?
Tifa.
You had mentioned Yuffie.
Yeah, it was between Tifa and Yuffie.
Okay.
Only because Yuffie, I like the whole the ninja gimmick. I mean, what kid doesn't like ninjas?
Mm-hmm.
So
Believe it.
exactly.
Yeah.
It was Naruto before Naruto was popular over here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so yeah, it was. But my third, but it was my third's not Tifa.
Okay.
My third, I'm kind of cheating here. It's
By the way, for the listeners, this is not ranked. These are just a couple that we like. So,
my third is CYOC. Create your own character. Everybody's had a JRPG or a Western RPG or MMO. Cop out nothing.
Cop out.
If I almost placed it first because
Just
one of
say
the greatest
Film Shack.
crushes.
My
one of the
three
greatest crushes-
girls are the same three girls I created in 3 different games. I name her Lily. I'm
just saying.
Create your own best girl.
I create beautiful women in these games.
And you should. You deserve to create your ideal girl when you were little.
Well, no, I'm not.
Your dream girl.
Look, nah. This one's just generally a merciless killer. I always
Is that your dream girl? That's your dream girl. I don't judge.
Yeah, you know what?
I had 2 that want to kill me, probably.
What's love without a little danger?
There you go.
It's like you don't know if you're gonna wake up dead or not.
Right. It's like Martin, What's
But
that movie he did? Thin Love Between Love and Hate. Yeah. It's
the Thin Line.
Yeah.
I can't remember the actress's name, but I used to call her the poor man's Angela Bassett. Which is cold. It's not fair. She was a great actress. It's just she reminds me so much of Angela Bassett.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, so since you said create your own, what do you give us a description what this girl looked like?
Okay,
that you remember.
All right, so it depends on how robust the options are. Like WWE 2K whatever. I will go ahead and throw I waver on the skin tone, but it's always short pixie cut hair, spikes, has either facial makeup or a face tattoo or a face scar on the left side.
Okay.
And has kind of a what is it? Not a soprano, kind of alto, but almost deeper than alto.
Okay.
Like Cora.
Yeah, it's just like a
From
to battle and victory. It's like,
okay.
Okay, all right. Sorry, I'm channeling some Baldur's Gate there, but yeah, I'll throw that in, and she's got to wield either an axe or some type of exotic weapon.
Okay.
I don't know what it is with me and axes these days, but
You want this axe to be gold too?
oh man, if only.
Maybe a golden axe?
There you go. Ba-da-ba-da-da-ba.
That's what I do.
But yeah, I generally create them, along those lines.
So I'm pretty sure everybody has it secretly. Princess Zelda. Which one though?
Okay.
Which one though? That's the thing. Which one? I am going to pick. I think I'm actually going to pick the Breath of the Wild one.
I knew you were going to.
Well, the reason is everybody they're all kind of really young, so like.
The Spirit Tracks one?
Yeah, she's the only like older one.
You don't
The
want Chris
Ocarina of
Hansen
Time,
coming in here.
now the older Ocarina of Time one is good. The only reason why is like it's tough because I don't know if that's the same one they're considering for Hyrule Warriors.
Okay.
If that's the edition, because I think that's her best look. Is the Hyrule Warrior ones because she's real. They really like fluffed her out. She's really pretty and all this kind of stuff.
I thought they put the Twilight Princess version of Zelda in Hyrule.
In Brawl, they did.
Okay, in Brawl they did. Okay.
Yeah,
That was my Zelda, by the way.
yeah. So like it's tough, but like I think maybe Breath of the Wild because that one looks like I think that's her best look because she looks a little bit more I don't know organic, just
Alive.
yeah, not like she's a princess, but she's not a princess.
Okay.
She's also going to get her feet wet. Now,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. Like Smash Brothers, of course, made her a fighter only because they found a way to do that, and I think because of that, now they implement her to be a fighter in Hyrule Warriors and all this kind of stuff. Without that game, she would not even be considered a fighter to me.
She turned into Sheik up until like the recent Smash Brothers. She just turned into Sheik,
Right?
and then they broke Sheik out on his own character.
Right, and so I think only because she was a character that you were so glad to rescue her, and she was so innocent and she was pretty. And once you find out that she can get her feet wet, it's more of like, okay, now here's a girl that likes still being rescued, but she also can kick butt too when it gets tough.
She's not afraid to put in some wet work. I mean, she's the one who holds Ganon off for 100 years.
Yeah.
Spoilers for the 5 people who haven't played it yet.
For like the 500th time, right? So because also too, you can compete that with Princess Toadstool or Peach, whatever you want. I think that's a lot of people's favorite too because. Those are your two top characters, and you can listen to our Game Halls of Rivalries. That was like our second episode where we talk about how these girls were so popular because they were just always reoccurring in the 90s. They were the only princess at the time that you could only rescue.
yeah. It's. I mean, hey, don't forget Daisy. Daisy, you had to.
Daisy's a side project.
Wow. Whoa. Dude, for those who are listening, the hand motion he made, he was like sweeping her, he mushed her.
Oh, come on. They treat her like crap, dude.
Like she mushed her in the face of the
dude,
club.
she's only in land one time, and she's an Echo Fighter.
Okay.
And now recently, she's now a doctor, apparently.
And she's a great tennis player.
Okay.
And a kart racer.
Yeah. She's like the Waluigi of princesses. Okay. So
except she actually is in Smash Brothers.
Oh, man. They need that Princess Bowser girl, but not like what they want. Like a real one. Not like transform. Barzell. Not the way they want to do it.
Not the Instagram
not the crown that changed Bowser into it. Like actually make a character.
Okay.
And it would be cool like her. Yeah. That'd be really cool.
Nintendo, it might be a while, but Doug Bowser will have to have something to say about that because Nintendo's like, nope, Internet already ruined it. There will never be a Bowsette.
Right.
Thanks, Internet.
Right. But no, I think that was just a growing up thing. Princess was the only girl really that was most of my life growing up playing video games. So she was the one that always leans towards to. But it wasn't until like later on, and this is not my crush, but I think before we take a break, we can do a little small honorable mentions. And I want to talk about, I have a couple of characters that maybe some people have said, but maybe they're not in our categories, like Lara Croft. You know, Lara Croft is on there. I think that's a lot of people's personal favorite.
Yeah.
You and the British accents. Bayonetta, Lara Croft.
It's not my fault. Blame them. My God.
Blame them. Okay.
Blame them.
You can't blame good taste.
Yeah, like, it's not my fault that these women are all those. Now, I think one that kind of gets swept under it's Nathan Drake's wife,
Elena Fisher.
Elena, I think is she's a really
she
easy.
Is awesome.
I think she's an easy crush because the fact that like she was the down to earth. But she was still
girl next door.
Yeah, she is.
Sorry, I guess I was Chloe Frazier, but that was because of the voice actress.
Mm-hmm. But what about Ava from Resident Evil? She the Asian. She was really cute. She was really cool in 4.
I think it wasn't until the Resident Evil 2 remake that people got really a to see. It's like, okay.
No, you're right because she didn't really get a big part. She was there, but she wasn't there kind of thing. Yeah. I get you.
Ada Wong, okay, meh.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Lara Croft is up there. But I was like, okay. I don't know. Zelda, I would say the Link to the Past Zelda, if anything, because I think that's the first time she really helps you.
Mm-hmm.
She throws you, she gives you a light arrow, and the light arrow.
Yeah, but you can say same with Wind Waker. But once again, that's a very because and I know this. I'm not trying to sound weird, but this is me playing Wind Waker as more of an older person.
Yeah.
Looking at this girl that's really young, you know what I mean? So like, now I don't know if Link to the Past she was considered an adult or she was a child.
16-bit pixels.
It's so tough.
Yeah,
it's so tough. But I can relate with that because I was little, and so I had a crush on her like that. But you were talking about
a teenager, yeah,
right? But you were talking about like helping with the weapons. I think you're right. That was the first one to start out because Wind Waker, like, turned it up to 11 on that final fight.
Yes.
And then we saw that going in. I think Twilight Princess had some parts too with that.
Yeah, she helped you out there too.
It wasn't until like Breath of the Wild where she's more of a history or flashback more than actually being there. Now maybe in the sequel coming out, we see her coming in doing.
Everybody's hoping she's a playable character. That would be interesting.
That would be neat.
So is there any other mentions that you guys have before we wrap it up?
Before I get to my third one. Some rapid fire ones. Jessica Albert from Dragon Quest VIII.
Okay.
Yeah, the whip.
Yeah, the whip, and she also used knives too.
DeVoe.
She also
crack that whip. I'm just kidding. All right, sorry. Break your mother's back.
She was also the resident black mage in the party.
Yeah,
and healer too. She did everything. She could even brawl with a knife too. You could get her up close and personal with monsters, and of course the dominatrix whip. I think everyone remembers the bajillion costumes she had.
Yes,
in 8.
Yeah, she did.
8 was a lot of people's first initial like entry into that series. So a lot of people would recognize her.
Honorable mention: Yuna from Final Fantasy X. Kind of had that Eris vibe.
I was Lulu all the way.
You were Lulu?
Yeah, I was a little bit more Lulu. I mean, she was no nonsense, and she carried stuffed animals.
Yuna had that girl next door vibe about her.
Her and Riku. And I'm talking about X2 Riku, where she kind of got more dolled up.
Oh, Popstar Riku?
Yeah, that one is way better than that one. Franz from 12, I had a little crush on her too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Beatrix from FF9.
Okay.
I was like, all right, cool. You know, she's the Billy Badass like guard that takes over after Steiner leaves. Mm-hmm. I was like, she and Steiner like, oh, Beatrix.
Jade from from Dragon Quest XI.
Okay.
The martial artist with the spear.
I don't know. It's not September, so I can't play it on the Switch yet.
But there's a lot of crushes that we have. To me, I don't have a number one yet. That's maybe something I'll have to think about. But we'll love to hear your picks. We'll have it posted on Facebook and Twitter of what are some of your video game crushes that you had. If you want to, you can put a picture up there for us too. We'll put out a couple of our picks that we said on the show and whatnot. You can also email me once again at theingameboss@gmail.com and let us know some of yours. And we might
Smart Money's for the guys is going to be Leon Kennedy. We're going to see so much Leon Kennedy.
Probably. 'Cause I would like to hear some of the ladies' picks who they think is handsome in their own way with that. But let's take a break, and we come back. We're going to get into some news and probably what we are gaming. We'll be right back. Hey, Nom.
Hey, Jeremy.
So we need to do a commercial.
You mean on the EGB program, the in-game boss program?
Yes.
You mean a commercial about our podcast, When Jeremy Met Nom?
Yes.
That podcast where we go through and talk about movies that you and I select between, stuff from like before the 80s, the 90s, the 00s, the 2010s, before the current year?
Yes.
Like right now, we're going to make this commercial.
Yes.
You want me to make this commercial?
Yes.
So you guys should come listen to us talk about movies, about everything I just said. You want me to do that?
Yes.
Didn't we just do it?
And welcome back. I'm your host, Jeremy Evans, along with Jaron Williams. And Curtis III.
Hello.
So, guys, we just finished our anime crush, but now it's trying to get into
video game crush.
Yeah. Video game crush. I said anime crush, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
I will edit it out. It does not exist.
Get it in post.
Okay. So we just finished our video game crushes. And so we're gonna get into like what have we been gaming, and then we'll go into like some of our news and updates. So I'll get mine first out of the way. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Origins.
All right.
So I've been trying really hard to get into that game. 'Cause I was like, okay, I just finished Syndicate. I need to take a break. And then I started playing Origins at the beginning of it. And I was like, man, I'm just not feeling it. Just not feeling it yet. And so I finally pushed myself to play it. And I think you guys saw one of my posts on my tweet saying like Assassin's Creed series has been a thorn in my ass, but I still love the world.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my favorite world so far because everything is just so connected that I can just go anywhere. It's kind of like that Breath of the Wild kind of feel, like you can just go anywhere, what you see you can go to. And I really like this how beautiful that world is. Just they really did a good job with making that Egyptian theme with the pyramids, the Sphinx, and just the way they just do everything in there is so beautiful. And the missions are more fun in this one. Some of those moves you want, like the gladiator realm you can get, or the chariot races. All that stuff is in there. The character's really cool. His name is Bayek, and he's just a character that just want revenge. And I'm like, how come this is just not a standalone game? Why do you have to be Assassin's Creed? This could have been a standalone game and just been fun, right?
Well, if Ubisoft is doing it, has to be Assassin's Creed.
Right. One of the things, though, you'll notice is they definitely took a lot of stuff when it comes to menu and some HUD stuff from Destiny. And the one thing I hate, I'm telling you for all game developers, don't do the mouse menu idea. And what I mean, like if you play Destiny, instead of like me highlighting to the box I want, you have to move this cursor to it. That's not a thing for consoles. And No Man's Sky did it too. I don't like that. I just like, let me just make my way there. Like I waste more time trying to move that cursor to pick what I want, and I could just up, click, and I'm done.
Yeah.
And then
function over form.
And then what they also do is they use Destiny's way of, regular weapons, rare weapons, legendary weapons. So like rare weapons are purple, regular weapons are blue, and legendary are like gold. And so they do it like that, where like when you kill certain people or you find certain treasures, those are coming up. Certain missions you'll get rewarded like better stuff and everything like that. But I didn't know my Uplay account is connected to my console. So like they had some stuff you can buy using your points. So I bought this awesome Crusader medieval time outfit for my character. Looks so BA. I love it. I don't want any other costume. And that's what I give Assassin's Creed credit for. I love the outfits they take their time doing. It's really cool. And I like it in this one better than the other ones to me. Only because in this one, I feel like you just have to find the material, or you can just buy it. Instead of like the old Assassin's Creeds, you have to collect so many stuff to get it even unlocked. And I didn't like that.
So
especially
like it more than
Syndicate.
Black Flag? No.
Well, I like Syndicate more than Black Flag at one point.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay. You
we
heard
got-
it here, folks.
No,
folks.
no, I talked about it in the earlier ones. I talked about like I like the characters a little bit more. I like that environment better than Black Flag. Do I think it's a better game? Probably not. But it's my favorite because like I just like the way they set up. But now that changed, Origins might be my favorite until I get my hands on Odyssey. Only because I like that everything's connect, and you get to choose your day and night when you get the ability to, instead of like, one of the things Syndicate got on my nerves about is every time you pick a mission, it has to go to this clock tower that always turns either day or night. Annoys the hell out of me. But at least Origin, they'll tell you, hey, if you want to do this mission, do it at night. Okay, I can go to nighttime if I want to, or go to daytime if I want to, and do this mission.
Okay.
So I recommend that. And the thing about Assassin's Creed, you can start anywhere you want if you don't really care what the story is. And to me, you could start with Black Flag or Origins. I prefer to start Origins, but I'll put it like this. If you start with Origins, it's going to be very hard for you to go backwards because everything's taken away from you. But if you start with Black Flag, then you can get more excited of the development that's changing going forward further.
I only say Black Flag because that pirate ship to ship combat
It
is
is
so fun.
It is. I love that, but at the same time, I have to think about like, is it fun going back now to it? Like those fights were long, those battles long, and then just sailing everywhere.
Yeah.
Unlike this, like, everything's not too far. I'm on a horse. I can just travel everywhere. And and you got little canal ships you can ride and everything, and that's beautiful too. And I really like that. Is there anything really crucial about this game that really, really stand out? No, not really. Just the menus and stuff like that. But any Assassin's Creed I play, I try to go to all towers. so I can just synchronize them. So like when I'm ready to do the story, because like I like to, and this has a level thing that's different from the other ones, because like you do missions and you level up and you do your skill tree.
Yeah.
And the other ones, they don't really have that. It was more you get better weapons and better armor and you get some new skills through the storyline. But here, you know, you can choose a route if you want to be a hunter, you want to be a warrior, or you want to be more of a gadget trap person.
Okay.
And so I recommend it. I think it's my favorite one. But like I said, I need to play Odyssey.
A lot of people have been loving on Odyssey, say it's better than Origins. So
Yeah.
yes.
Well, I think because
We'll see.
Origins is that stepping stone, and I think Odyssey is going to be that one that perfected.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that transition when the time
Especially
is right.
since they're like taking like every other year off or so, so they can up the quality.
And then I've been playing a little bit, and I'll make it quick. Sunder on my Switch. It's an indie game from the same people that did Yotun. Beautiful animation. Like I said, it kind of reminds me of Heavy Metal. It's the 2D Metroidvania about this girl that finds this hidden place, and she's trying to figure out what's going on. That game is known for the highlights of the epic boss fights, and one of the things that stands out is it's one of those. It's a style game where everything is quiet, and then something happens. So like you can be traveling around alone, and then all of a sudden a giant horde of people will come and attack you. And you have to fight your way out. And
Okay,
then
I was going to say,
continue.
you said a giant what?
Yeah, like just a giant horde of people. So
Okay.
yeah. What about you? What have you been playing?
Well,
Oh, hang on. I'm sorry, Curtis. What have you been
Yeah, I
playing?
was gonna say.
I forgot. You got set up for you.
The journey continues on Dragon Quest XI.
Man, has it been how many months now?
Golly,
it's been like what, 4
4
5?
months.
Half a year?
yeah, 4
Let's
months.
say half a year. Yeah.
Ever since summer started.
Okay.
Spoiler free. I got halfway through the game, and you're at the MacGuffin. You finally get to kind of the end goal of the game, and you get stabbed in the back, and Thanos snapped.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just wondering who at Square saw Infinity War and said, we need to do something like that in this story.
Well, did that game come out before the first one?
It came out last year.
It came out last year.
Okay, and then yeah. Okay.
So-
I mean, it was too close for them to take a swerve like that.
But it got really dark. Dragon Quest games have usually one sad part.
Uh-huh.
This game's very depressing at times.
Do you think it's the most depressing one in the series too?
I think so.
Okay.
Because 8 was really fun. 8 had a lot of highlights. 8 specifically had one town where the king was grieving his wife like constantly. Every day, all the townspeople had to wear black. They were constantly mourning her passing. And then it was kind of just even keel after that. This game has it's up and down, man.
And I think that's what makes Dragon Quest stand out so much from Final Fantasy at their true properties. Like, Dragon Quest series have a lot of small, short stories that you walk by. And it's mostly when you go down to town, there's a small story that you go and you explore and you examine, and then you kind of move on to the next thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, it midway through the game,
You feel like you're in the midway? You don't feel like you're at the end yet?
I feel like I'm midway through. It definitely
Wow.
felt like
Okay.
the end of Avengers of Infinity War, and then
Okay.
it feels like okay, I'm
Or
going
like
into,
Final Fantasy VI.
I'm going into Endgame.
Yeah, like
You
Final Fantasy.
bring that up really well. The scenario is everything goes right for the bad guy,
Okay.
and there's a slight time skip, and it's literally. In your case, Final Fantasy VI, The World of Darkness. My relation is the time skip from 15
okay.
after Noctis
Oh,
wakes
yeah.
back
Oh,
up.
okay. Okay, I see what you have.
Like, everything's gone to hell in a handbag. And, yeah, it was a complete tonal shift. It caught me out of left field. I love it,
Okay.
but, man, it
I saw some of your posts. You're like, man, how many times am I going to get betrayed?
Right.
Yeah, oh my god, I have trust issues now. This is like Betrayal 5th, lost count by now.
Man, if he's midway, man, it's gonna take us a long time when we get through that special edition on the Switch,
He's
man.
going to have PTSD by the time he's done.
Right. Is there anything else you've been dipping into?
Nope, that's it.
Okay.
All right, so I'll start with what I've been playing recently versus what I've been playing off and on for months. So one of them was Marvel vs. Capcom, or not Marvel vs. Capcom. I'm sorry, we were talking about that too much earlier. It was Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yeah.
I I like it in that they have a good selection and the powers easy to sync up and units of powers in Unity, but it is way too grindy compared to the other two Marvel Ultimate Alliance games.
What do you mean by grindy though? Because like Marvel Alliance was pretty grindy.
Yes and no. Any enemy you face in MU 1 or 2, or MUA 1 or 2, you could generally beat them. It's like, oh, okay, light punch, heavy, or light, heavy, and then finish them off with whatever. It's fine. Ultimate Alliance 3, the enemies feel like they are damaged sponges, especially if
Oh, yes, I did hear about that.
Yeah, the second or third maps. You know, you get to Avengers Tower or even parts of the raft. It feels like, okay, I'm Captain Marvel here. I just punched this goon. Why is he still here?
Right.
You know, I'm not saying you should just plow through everything, but it just felt like you were just grinding through. And I come to find out, you have to play these Infinity Trials and sometimes play them over and over again, and you grind out extra levels that way.
Okay.
And you have to, because when a new person joins your alliance, they're at the, I guess, ideal level that they feel your party should be, and my party was never near that. It's like Hawkeye joined, and he was like, oh, I'm level 19. My guy was like level 13 or level 14. He's like, what the hell? All right, cool. Hawkeye's leading the crew then. You know, so it was, I like it. I could definitely tell they pretty much repurposed the Infinity Saga, the MCU Infinity Saga, so far. It's basically, what if MCU did the Infinity Saga, but they had all their properties.
Okay.
So they did that. So I put that down for a while, and then of course,
your wife, I mean, your fiance, she did she ever join you on that game? Like, did you guys try the two player?
She tried it once, and she was like, "Nope, this nope, this this was."
Okay.
I'm dragging you down.
Okay.
I do like they have all the Spider Warriors, but I put that down and I ended up picking up Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I'm still playing that. I'm about 20 hours in.
Real quick on Ultimate Alliance, how's it compared to the second game?
Ooh. If it weren't for the damaged sponges, I would like it better because of more varied environments. But the second one's still going to be up there. It's still going to be the best.
Do you not feel as powerful because of the damaged sponges?
Oh, definitely. And not to mention, okay, you know characters that can fly, right?
Yeah.
Any of your characters that can fly, you say, oh, okay, you can fly, right? Thor spins his hammer, he goes, whatever. It saps your power.
No.
It saps very slowly, but it saps it.
So
when
what's
you're
the point,
flying
kind of thing? Like, why do
what's the point of flying?
Yeah.
And you also can't skip, like, if you have tiered levels, you know, balconies, one of your characters can't just fly and go straight up there. They have to still follow the path of going up a ramp. I was like, no, that's not. I wanted another Ultimate Alliance, but not like this. So.
Well, it is a different developer, so
I'm only playing it because I'm a fan of Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
I am sad that they had these guest characters come in, but they're not playable. Like why was not Cyclops not a playable character, but he's a side? Like
he might be in the X-Men expansion.
Yeah, and that's like, why? Like Gambit's not even in there, right?
No, but Gambit is apparently not that popular now. Like the only place you can play Gambit is X-Men Legends.
Yeah,
X-Men Legends games.
Yeah. Okay.
And two. Ultimate Alliance 2.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Gambit is in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
They got rid of the fusion attacks. That's what I understood.
No, I mean, they're kind of in Ultimate Alliance 3, but they're not like Ultimate Alliance 2. They're not like, you know, Iron Man blasting the lasers off of Captain America's shield or Wolverine's claws.
Going back to Gambit and Storm, he would charge a whole deck of cards. She'd have this tornado, and he'd throw the cards in.
Yeah.
And
that
spin
was
around.
cool.
Yeah.
This one, when you do like your ultimate extreme whatever, it's easier to pull it off. You just click it once for one, again for however many more people you want to add. But all they end up doing is basically like a super version of whatever attack. It looks very messy.
Okay.
Instead of a really cool team up attack.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, but
Sorry, back to Fire Emblem.
but yeah, Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem Three Houses, or as a lot of people are calling it, Fire Emblem Harry Potter, or Fire Emblem in Hogwarts.
I don't see a problem with that because
No, it's not. But here's the thing: it's only like that the first maybe half of the game, and then it. The path I'm going, it takes a hell of a turn. I don't know if it's the other path depending on what house you join, but the house I joined, it took a hell of a turn. I'm liking it. I mean, I haven't met a Fire Emblem I did not like to a degree, but this one really pulled me in. I could definitely tell Intelligent Systems put a lot of time and love into this.
okay.
It's day to day. You're a professor. You're pretty much a professor who's also a mercenary who's teaching these kids. And every once in a while, I would just stop at when a development happens, like, how do I teach these kids?
Yeah, right.
How do I reach them?
and yeah, you pretty much get to choose their path. It's like someone was like, I want to be a sniper because I don't like dealing with people and I just want to shoot them far away. Sure, I'll instruct you in using your bow and arrow that way. You set their curriculum. You interact with the other teachers. If you're really good, you can even recruit kids from other houses. And it's fun.
I do like the idea of you're taking these kids into battle, and
Yeah.
you can lose these kids can die in your
Yes.
head. Like I know that sounds terrible, but at the same time, it's like that sounds so awesome.
Yeah.
Like
and I think
they're
they
your
even-
students. These are your kids.
They even
it's your
realize-
school bus that can blow up.
Oh man, yeah. Oh god, yeah. That's that. It does get a little.
Yeah.
I haven't lost any kids during the school time.
Use the buddy system, guys.
Pretty much. But I will say they did cater. You can put it in casual or classic. I'm playing in classic mode. You can put it in casual, but even if you're playing in classic, they have a function called Divine Pulse, which basically lets you rewind.
Okay.
Okay.
Turns. So I think they don't want people save scumming.
Okay.
Which, I mean, everybody's done it. But yeah, and of course I'm still playing Tekken. I'm playing it on the PC, and I'm playing casual / improving with some of the guys in the community.
At RDR.
Yeah, I mean RDR. I did all right. I was in the top 8. Finishes at RDR.
Shout out to Ricky McNeil.
Yeah, so shout out to Ricky. Shout out to of course Raybone, who took it again, but not so easily this time.
Right.
And yeah, and I'm playing with the guys in casuals. Other than that, and I'm getting more and more hyped as Evo would show. And
Speaking of that.
yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah. So let's go into our news and update, right? So Evo happened.
Yes.
Give us our listeners some highlights that that shout out to you at Evo.
All right. Well, first off, Evo was hype AF. I watched mainly for Tekken, but I peeked at a few of the other games too. Korea did not dominate Evo this year. Like they only took first place in one game.
And what was that one game?
That one game was Samurai Showdown.
Yeah.
Sounds
about right.
Yeah, it was Samurai Showdown, and of course Sonic Fox trying to be the Bo Jackson or Deion Sanders of fighting games. He took second place in not Super Smash Bros. I'm sorry, Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Which that fight was intense.
Yeah.
I mean, it was Goku against Goku's.
Yeah,
Which I was like,
crazy.
I understand it because I was like, well, of course you're gonna get they made them the coolest one, so it works. But man, it would have been cool to see some different characters. Someone's really good with Piccolo, huh? Someone's good with 18, huh?
It's okay, all right. Well, good luck. I mean, we're not gonna have a Rangchu Panda situation, but
no
Yamcha God.
But man, kudos to the guy that beat Sonic Fox.
Goichi Kishida.
He teared up. He was good for him though. That's not easy.
He wasn't able to do it last year. He finally did it this year.
Yeah. Dude, I think it's just a struggle that if you're going in and you're making your way up, but the person that you've been wanting to beat is going up there with you, and you're like, crap, he's your final, and you want him knocked out as soon as possible so you can get a new fresh fight, but he's up there with you, like, crap.
Yeah, I mean, that's the story for a lot of these games. I mean, I didn't follow DBFZ that much, but I mean, Sonic Fox was like live tweeting. He's like, hey, well, congrats to Goichi. I'm going to see what I can do with this MK11 tournament. And then he went on to win MK11.
It's like he just walked in there. It's like, can I play? Sure. Oh, I won.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
I mean, but he did Injustice and he did MKX, I believe.
Okay.
So I mean, Sonic Fox, he I want to see where he can go if he comes to the Tekken arena. I'd like to see him jump in the Tekken arena. But we had Soul Calibur 6, Yuta Sudo took that. Clear Lamp took Eunice, which is it's nothing to anybody, but it's another anime fighter.
For the listeners, you can always go to YouTube and just type in Evo 2019 finals, and you'll see all the highlights. You'll see what we're talking about.
Yeah, the biggest one that got my attention was the Tekken 7 one. It's been growing year over year, 5 years in a row.
I think this is the best Tekken.
Yeah, it
that
has
has the
1,900 participants.
Yeah, this is the best Tekken that got that many people over the many years of Evo.
Exactly. Arslan Ash from Pakistan. Nobody knew who he was this time last year, but he took Evo Japan earlier, and he came to America and whooped up, just crushed the American opponents, and took Evo.
Okay.
And he beat Nee. Nee was expected to take it, and I told the guys in the Discord chat, I was like, no, Arslan Ash is going to take this. Nee doesn't have an answer for him. Arslan Ash did it.
Because you're probably thinking like Nee hasn't fought anybody like this before.
Exactly. He's beaten Nee so soundly that Nee has gone to Pakistan to train. To like try and train with the other Pakistani players.
Yeah.
So now it's like the scene has come out of nowhere, Pakistan, and it's like, all right, so there's a Tekken scene in Pakistan. What?
Right.
It's like what? And they're out here bodying the Koreans and the Japanese.
Isn't it amazing to know what country, like, what's the most popular game in that country? Like, didn't see that coming.
Yeah. I think but that's what's great about the fighting game community. Tekken in particular in this instance is it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, whatever. If you can throw down, you can throw down, and you can represent.
Show them those hands.
Yeah,
Show them hands.
And he had a hell of a story. Folks, go out and read it or watch the video on it. Arslan's journey. But yeah, Evo was just lit.
Dude, talk about that Smash now.
Yeah.
That Smash.
Smash Brothers.
That struggle.
MK Leonardo Lopez Perez representing Mexico.
Now, don't get me wrong. He did a good job. He won. But man, the heart goes out to the other guy.
Oh yes.
He did everything he can, and I had never seen anybody play with the Pokemon trainer the best as him. I mean, he was switching hard. Like he knew which character to switch at the right time. Because Grant, if you watch that video, he's been kicked out of the ring towards the end about 5 or 6 times and still came back.
Yeah, that was some recoveries.
He was 156%.
Yeah, the thing is,
I was watching Curtis. Curtis was like, man, what? He came back?
It's like, he's dead. No, he's not dead. He was like a cockroach that wouldn't die. Shout out to what's his name? Tweak. Yeah. To Tweak, playing the Pokemon trainer. Lost to MK Leo, part of looks like Echo Fox. Echo Fox was cleaning up this year.
He was.
The sponsor. He's playing Joker.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, it was a hell of a. I'm not a Smash Brothers competitive player. I'll play it fun at parties.
Me too.
But competitive that.
I think I was putting myself in that, like, oh, I'm dead there. I would be dead there. That's what just kept blowing my mind. Was like, man, I'm usually knocked out the ring if that happens to me.
Right?
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's probably because I don't get into it competitively. I can't always follow what their strategy, what they're trying to do.
But not going too much into the highlights there on the news of announcements. We don't have that much time. But just new character got announced from Tekken, Leroy Smith,
aka Black Yipmon, and Zafina. She's coming back from Tekken 6.
Yeah, and then there was a mistake that was a joke that went bad, and that was what Snake was secretly sounding like he was going to be reveal in Tekken, which that would been a perfect. He's a perfect character for Tekken.
That would be
with a CQC. Come on, that's perfect.
Yeah, he was like, "That's some good ass Tekken," and everybody flipped their lid.
That would have been amazing, but then it was a joke, and like that's not a good joke.
They didn't get Namco's permission. They didn't get David Hayter's permission. They didn't get Konami's permission.
Yeah.
So the Evo organizers were like, "Ooh, that was a bad look."
Mm-hmm. There was a surprise crossovers for one. I think. Well, one King of the Fighters is coming out with a new one's in development, but they will cross over with another game, I believe.
It's I believe KOF 15 is coming out, but Haomaru from Samurai Showdown is coming to Soul Calibur.
Yes, yeah, and then Guilty Gear, the newest entry is coming in, which the animation is so beautiful. It's so beautiful done. I go check it out. It's like holy crap! And what the newest thing is different is now they kind of pulled the Dead or Alive. Where like you can kick somebody off of one thing and they fall into another area.
Oh, okay.
To another platform, you have to look at it. Yeah. So that was really cool. But but that's not the only game that apparently caused violence in ads and whatnot.
Oh boy.
So you'll never see those in ads. So why is that, Jaron?
Our hearts go out to El Paso and Dayton. In response, Walmart has made the decision to pull all violent game adverts from their stores. There was a bit of confusion earlier this evening, as of this recording, that IGN thought Walmart reported they were pulling their violent games, but that was quickly clarified. They're just pulling the ads. I mean, think of it what you will. Majority of people are kind of rolling their eyes saying, no, that's not it. This ain't it, Chief. Mm-hmm. But that's what Walmart's choosing to do.
Well, how do you personally feel about it?
Personally, I'll keep it diplomatic. This wasn't the problem back in the 90s. It wasn't the problem in the early 90s with Night Trap and Mortal Kombat and Lethal Enforcers. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the problem in the mid to late 90s, with Doom and Quake and everything like that. This wasn't the problem in the early 2000s. It's not the problem now. Mm-hmm. So, and stats, studies, Supreme Court, everybody who could be an expert will testify to that fact. That's all I got to say about that.
I only think it only makes sense if you see other people pulling out too, and no one's doing it because I don't think it's that deep to go that far.
Now, Walmart, maybe someone high up in the chain said, okay, well, here would be the good optics if we go ahead. It'll look like we're doing something because we're not going to stop selling, ammunition or guns or whatever like that. So we'll just do.
And that's the funny part is like we're gonna still keep selling guns, but we're gonna take the violent game ads out. And like,
it is what it is.
But that's another conversation. Yeah.
But so it's silly. It's like, what year is it? Am I back in 1992, 1993 again?
Ooh, Mortal Kombat came out?
Doom?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's like, wow, what year is it?
Curtis, you agree, or do you have your own set of words?
I agree.
Okay. And so, also with that, I believe, I thought there was another piece of news we were talking about. What is that?
WWE 2K20, the game, one, Roman Reigns and Becky Lynch are on the cover. Woo. But Ukes, who has long since developed for that game for almost 20 years, is no longer developed. They're not going to be developing for 2K20. Visual Concepts, I believe, is doing it. So Ukes, you may. I'm initially kind of happy because Ukes has been very lazy with the engine upgrades. WWE 13 and 14 were good, but 15 onwards were just trash. Ask anybody who has WWE 2K18 on the Switch, they'll tell you.
That got the worst of it all.
Oh my God. If you had any more than like two guys in the ring, it just looked like trash. But yeah, so hopefully that means we'll get an engine upgrade. We'll get some actual proper hair again. We'll, get a proper Switch port. But we'll see. We'll see about that.
Okay. All right.
And also this is it's kind of timely because we got to see how it plays out next year. That breach of data for E3.
Oh yeah.
E3. And if you were a media person or content creator for YouTube or anything like that, like over 2,000 people got their information breached, like lost the E3. the organizers allowed this information. They didn't delete it or anything. They unsafe data retention practices.
Oh,
And essentially your home address, your phone number, your name, it's out there. And so that is bad because we all know how internet outrage culture likes to act and how they will dox you if they find out if you did something with a game that they didn't like, that they didn't feel should be done. It's like, oh, they'll call for your head. Well, now it's out there. So we'll see if E3 recovers from this because it's going to be really hard to get people to want to go back to your event.
Yeah. Shout out to those people. I hope, you don't get the worst scenario happening to you.
Yeah.
Because that sucks.
yeah.
That really sucks.
It's infuriating.
It's slowly like losing trust of, do I really want to come back?
Yeah. Trust is in short supply these days.
And so, but we're going to get to our news update and then we're going to get on out of here. So our news update is, first off, the cabinet sessions. That's our series that we're working on where Jaron and I, we play arcade games. So our recent episode was Pro Gear, our first shoot 'em up game that we play. Capcom's game, which I thought that was really cool. But previous ones that we had played was Ninja Warrior, Captain America and the Avengers, and Ninja Baseball Batman. But I believe the
Dragon
next
Slayer, too.
Huh?
Not
No,
yet.
but that's the one that's next.
It's Mystic Warriors actually.
Mystic Warriors.
Mystic
Sorry,
Warriors.
Ninja Warriors is a whole separate.
I know
game.
the Super Nintendo one. I saw someone put that
yeah.
posted up. Like it's like they made a game. I was like, no, wrong one. So it's Mystic Warrior. Sorry,
Yeah.
Konami Mystic Warriors.
got the bro
Yeah.
with the flat top.
That's
high
why you're
top
the second
fade.
chair. You're supposed to check on me. Okay, but no, Dragon Lair is the next one
Oh,
that's coming
boy.
up, and this is
Yeah.
my favorite one because this is me sitting back and relaxed. And I made a deal with Jaron is when we do 2, I would play and he would sit and laugh at me as I make bad choices.
You'll see. But at some point, I was flummoxed. I was like, "What? People paid quarters? Put quarters for this? No, this was $1 a play.
Yeah.
people put dollars into this.
Yeah, especially the one part that cracked me up was they'll see it when you were like floating down this river in the thing, and you swear you press this button every time, and I see it too, but they would not acknowledge it, and you kept crashing into. I think we saw that like 4 or 5 times.
I was like,
Then we finally got it going.
Yeah, I was like, wow, and yeah, it's a good watch. It's a good watch. Everyone, check it out.
And then Bond Never Dies. We just finished posting The World's Not Enough, and now we're going into the next one, Die Another Day. This is the one. It's interesting because this is the one that got me and Travis in a conflict of which one is not so good out of those two, in our opinion, between
Really?
World's Not Enough and Die Another Day. This is a huge conflict. Which one? You'll have to listen to it. Spoiler, I think World's Not Enough is worse than Die Another
Ooh,
Day.
no.
I say that.
I've
He said they're both bad, but I said one of them has to be worse. He thinks they're evenly. He's like, no, there has to be one thing.
I've seen all 4 of for all the movies of the Brosnan era, and I can remember GoldenEye and Tomorrow Never Dies fine. World is Not Enough and Die Another Day. I have the hardest time.
Oh, they're
remembering.
forgettable. They're easily forgettable.
Yeah, and I feel bad because Halle Berry, she's a Bond girl.
She is. I think they didn't do justice with her,
No.
or they didn't do anything with her, and so. But other than that, we have When Jeremy Met Nam. That's our movie podcast where Nam and I we just pick random movies, and we will have we'll talk about the trailer, and then we go talk about the movie, and then we have fun challenging questions that we challenge ourselves in. And the recent one that
laughing so hard at the Limitless
one, yeah.
or Adderall the movie.
Yeah. So Limitless one, but the recent one that came out is Jaws. Which is like
Yes.
I think that's Nam and I's my favorite one that me and him discussed. We had a good time talking about it. That was my first time watching it, and so
Really?
yeah, it was
What
my
a
first
treat
time.
That must have been.
Oh, dude, I had a great time with that film, and you'll hear all about how much I liked about it. And there's some fun questions. One of them is how do we feel with Christopher Walken's in it? So you'll have to listen to that one. So listen to that, and you'll love it. It's pretty damn hilarious. But we still have a lot more movies to do. We got this fall and everything like that. So I'm excited about that. Sunday anime chat. This it'll be out already, but that will be our Death Note episode.
Yes.
That will be out. Curtis and his new co-host.
This will be
Jody's
Jody's first appearance.
Yes. So shout out to Jody. So hope give her a chance.
She did really well.
Okay, good. So that will be out. It'll be out already by the time you listen to this episode. But don't forget, you can always reach us all our shows on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Castbox, and YouTube. Unless, Jaron, you have anything else you want to add to that?
Podcast Republic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're also on a new one. I posted it on the Facebook page and Twitter. It's called. Let me see here. Radio Republic. So because I was looking at podcasts that are up there, and Castbox is one of the top ones along with this one. So I wanted to get it out there, so you have more access to more of our show, a way to listen to us. That's the goal. The goal is to have you pick what you want to listen to, where you want to listen to us at.
But Jeremy, what if they want to reach us on other forms of social media?
Well, they can also talk to us on Facebook and also Twitter. All you have to do is look up the In-Game Boss program.
Oh.
And personally, for us, you can find me as RetroAm at 07.
Grumpy Bear 84.
Oh my gosh.
He forgot.
You forgot your Twitter handle.
What?
Oh, we can't edit that out.
Yeah. Take your time.
It's a SCICT85.
Gotta be ready, Curtis. We're gonna throw you in there. You gotta always be ready. We gave him time too. We went ours. He's like,
Stuff's happening.
At Konami.
yeah, right. Yeah. But no, like I said, just give us a 5-star rating. Subscribe if you can. Please follow us. We'll love your support. We'll love to hear your input. Tell us what we're doing great, what we're doing bad.
Yeah, questions, comments, concerns, outrage. Sure.
We have more shows coming to the network that we can't wait to announce soon. And so we'll catch you next time.
Later.